my name's Sarah and this is my channel So Sarah Sewed. In today's video I'm going to share with you my plans for the month of July, what I'll be sewing and knitting. Here in Melbourne we are heading into the depths of winter, so my makes are all very wintry kind of makes, but some of them will be able to be worn in different seasons as well. Before I let you know my plans for this month though, I'll quickly let you know what I'm wearing today. I have got on an Agnes top, which is by Tilly and the Buttons, and I actually made this one in June, so I'll be talking about it a bit more in my June makes video, but I just had found a hole in my wardrobe was long sleeved tops, and so I picked up this fabric from Spotlight and I made the ruched sleeve version. So it's just got the normal scoop neckline and then the ruched sleeves, and then as you can see it's a full length sleeve, and I have worn that with a York pinafore in just a thin blue cord, and that's a Helen's Closet pattern. So on to my plans for July. My first plan for the month of July is to make the Peppermint wide leg pants. Now, if you've been watching any of my other videos, you might know that this year one of my big goals was to make some pairs of pants, and with a few different patterns in mind. So I've already made some Pietras, and I've made, just in June I made the Arthur pants for the first time, and that was my first fly front zip, and so now I feel like I'm ready to tackle the Peppermint wide leg pants, which also have a fly front. The difference between this and all the other pants I've made is that there is no elastic in the waistband for this one. So I'm a little bit nervous about the fit, but hopefully it will come together okay. So as I mentioned, this is the Peppermint wide leg pants. So it's a free pattern from Peppermint magazine and was designed in collaboration with In the Folds. I'll put some line drawings in. You can hopefully see that it's quite fitted at the top, around the waistband and then around to the hips, and then quite wide legged, and I think they're supposed to be slightly cropped as well. I've decided to make mine in a heavy cotton drill that I got from My Design, and the colour is charcoal. So I'm thinking I'll probably need to use a jeans needle, I'm not really sure, but it's yeah, it is quite a thick fabric. Hopefully they'll turn out well and they will be a good addition to my casual winter wardrobe. The next pattern I'd like to try is a new release from Helen's Closet. She recently released 3 new patterns and I have been tempted to purchase and make the overalls. So it's the ruby overalls, and there are 2 views for these overalls. They both have an elasticized channel at the back, or they also have the option of just having the straps sewn in, or you can also have sort of jeans hardware or buttons sewn in to make them adjustable. And there are 2 lengths, long and short. And I really like the look of these overalls, but I had to be honest with myself, and I just know I don't really wear overalls. So although I loved the look of them, I just thought I probably wouldn't wear them. But then Helen posted on her Instagram a hack that she'd done, and that was to turn this overall into a pinafore dress. And I love wearing pinafore dresses. I wear them all the time. As you can see, I've got a York on today, a Helen's Closet pattern. But the thing about this York pinafore is it's very straight, so it just goes over the head. There's not a lot of shaping around the waist. I'll show you, I'll stand up. So it just is, I can put my hands in there, for example. So what appealed to me about this ruby overalls pinafore hack was the fact that it's more fitted around the waist, and I think that will make it easier to layer with more items. So for example, I find this one really hard, or the York pinafore quite hard to wear a jumper over the top of, because there's quite a bit of bulk created around the middle when I've got a jumper on, so I have to stick with cardigans. But I think if the waistband comes in, it will be easier just to wear jumpers, normal jumpers over the top. I'm hoping so anyway. So I've got a couple of cord fabrics in my stash that I thought I might try for this one. It will depend on the fabric requirement, but I bought this one last year. I think Spotlight was having a sale, and I thought I just love I've got 2 different corduroy York pinafores, and I wear them constantly in the winter. So I grabbed another cord, and I was thinking about making this into a York pinafore, but now I'm thinking I might try this ruby. So it's kind of an orangey brown base with these white flowers and leaves in it. So hopefully I'll have enough fabric to make that. Otherwise, I do have somewhere in my stash another dark blue corduroy fabric, but I thought because I've already got a cord pinafore, it might be nice to make something quite different, a different colour. I mentioned before that in June I made the Arthur pants, and I made them in a linen, and I will talk about that more in my June makes, but I ended up really liking these pants. I haven't worn them yet, haven't had the occasion. I'm on school holidays and I've been wearing pretty casual clothes every day, but it did make me think that I'd like to make some more in a black wool fabric. Now I bought some black wool, I think it was called wool suiting or something like that, I reckon almost 2 years ago, just when I started sewing, thinking it would be good to have some wool pants, but then I just didn't have the confidence to try a pants pattern, and just never really felt like the right time. But I feel like this one could work with the wool. I'll have to find it. It's somewhere in my stash. I was going to find it to be able to show you in this video, but all of my fabric is in great big plastic tubs under my sewing table here, and it would take me quite a while to get them out and to find that fabric. But I will in July at some point to try and make this second pair of Arthur pants. So as you can see in the line drawings, this is a really voluminous pant. It's really fitted at the waist. It comes in with a fly front, or you can do the whole thing with an elasticized waist, but I want to make the fly front again, and then an elasticized back waistband. And there is quite a lot of give in these pants as well. There's a lot of ease in the hips. So although I was measuring around a size 14, I made a size 10 for mine, and I'll probably do that again. I also took quite a bit of length off the pants, and I'm not sure if I should not make them quite so short this time. I'm going to have a really good think about that. I'm going to try on the ones I made in June with a few different types of shoes and see whether that length will work in a wool version, or whether I might like them slightly longer. I've looked at a lot of pictures on Instagram of the different ways people style these pants, and they are supposed to be slightly cropped, and I really like the look of them, but it just depends whether I've got the right shoes for them to work, especially for a work pant. At the end of this month, we have our Melbourne Frocktails event in town, which I'm really looking forward to. I've never been to any of these sort of social sewing kind of events before, so it would be lovely to meet some of my Instagram friends in real life and to chat with other people with a similar hobby. So I'm looking forward to that. If you're going, I'd love to know so that we can catch up on the night. I haven't decided what I'm going to wear to that event yet, and I'm not sure that I do have anything in my wardrobe that is appropriate for a sort of cocktail event. I'm not sure. From looking at other people's stories on Instagram, it looks like people are making sort of fancy dresses and jumpsuits and things like that. Most of my wardrobe is casual or kind of workwear, I feel like. So I'm thinking about maybe making a dress. Now, my sister-in-law gave me for my birthday last year a pattern that I haven't made yet, so I am considering making that, and that's the Anna dress by Hand London. If I make this, I'd probably go with this long version with the slit, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. Haven't decided. Could be that, could be something completely different, could just be something I have already. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what I end up doing. I think the event's on the very last weekend of July, so I've got a little bit of time to decide. If you've been following along this year, you'll know I have been trying to get finished a hand-pieced quilt that I've been making. I started it a couple of years ago, and my goal this year is to make a block a month, and it's 9 blocks. And I was supposed to do the 9th block in June, but I have not done that. What I have done is cut out the pieces for it. So hopefully in July, I will sew up the 9th block of my Journey Home quilt by Blooming Poppies. So that is a hand stitching project that I'm working on. So that's the sort of thing that I do while watching TV on the couch. I do like to have something to keep my hands busy while I'm watching TV. Otherwise I end up just scrolling through my phone, which never makes me feel very good at the end of the night. The other thing I like to do while I'm watching TV is knit, and I've been doing a lot of that recently. I have been making the Novice Cardigan by Petite Knit, and that's coming along quite well. I'm at the stage where I'm working on the first sleeve now, and I had been thinking that I would get it finished by the middle of July. I'm not sure. It's still probably my goal, but we'll see if that happens. So I've got to do both sleeves and then a ribbing down the middle for the bucket for the button bands, button bands. So that's we'll see, because I am on holidays, as I said, so I've got a little bit of extra time to do some knitting at the moment. And then I'm hoping to start a new knitting project. So I've got a few different things that I could make, but with considering the weather and the sorts of things I'm wishing I had at the moment, the main thing is just wishing I had another woolen jumper and perhaps a more fitted one. I made the Sunday sweater recently by Petite Knit, and it's beautiful and really cozy, but it's quite big, it's quite oversized. I really love the look of faded sets of yarn, and so I decided to buy a set that I found on Etsy from a seller in the Czech Republic called Yarn to You. It's still in its plastic, so it's a little bit tricky to see, but there are 6 skeins of fingering weight yarn in this set, and I decided to make the So Faded sweater by Drea Renee Knits, and that uses 5, so I probably won't use the very lightest colour. I'll put in some pictures of that sweater. Hopefully you can see that there are 2 versions. There's a cropped version and a regular length version. I'm not sure which one I will make at this point. I love the look of the cropped one. I'm not sure which one would be more practical for me. I'll have to have a think about it. And the way I'm going to do the fade will be starting with the lighter colour and going into the dark. So I've never done anything like that before, so I'm looking forward to learning some new skills with that jumper, and yeah, hopefully making a start on that at least in July. Certainly won't be finishing it. I imagine that it will probably take, especially with such fine yarn, and I think it's knit on 3.75mm needles, most of it. It'll probably take a few months, I imagine. Hoping to get it done while the weather's still slightly cool. So I'll let you know how I go with that. So they are all of my plans for July at this point. Most months I end up adding something and taking something away, or taking a couple of things away. So I'll look forward to getting started with those very soon. And I'll also look forward to sharing all of my June makes in a video coming up soon too. I'd love to know if you've got any experience with the Peppermint wide leg pants, or with the Anna dress actually. I'm a little bit nervous about the fit of the bodice. So if you've got any tips or advice about those, I'd love to hear from you. Or if you've got anything else you'd like to share with me, I'd love to hear from you as well. If you've enjoyed the video, please do give it a like, and I'll look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.